Hello and welcome back to another week here at Knack Kitchen, where today we are making my strawberry and mascarpone cake. So today I'm making my go-to vanilla cake with a strawberry cake filling that is very easy to make and a mascarpone whipped cream frosting using my homemade mascarpone cheese. With all that being said, let's just dive into this video and see how we make it. So to make my vanilla cake, I start with some soft and salted butter, to which I'm going to go ahead and add some sugar, and now we're going to whisk this until well combined. Today I'm using a hand whisk because a lot of people may not have an electric whisk and you don't need that for all cakes after all. So now I'm adding some oil and we're just going to mix that until well combined as well. So flash forward to a couple of minutes later and our mixture is a lot lighter. So now we're going to go ahead and add our eggs one at a time, and we're going to beat for about 30 seconds after each addition. And once the first egg has completely mixed in, we're going to go ahead and crack in the second egg as well. And now we'll mix this as well. So now we're going to go ahead and add our vanilla extract and the remaining wet ingredients. So I have some milk and a little bit of yogurt over here. And now we're just going to mix this until combined. And your mixture may curdle just a little bit, and that's totally fine. You don't need to worry. We're just going to go ahead and add our dry ingredients. And first I'm adding half the flour. And along with that, I'm going to add the whole of the baking powder. And then I'm going to use my spatula to just fold this in. So we're no longer going to use our whisk, we're only going to fold using a spatula. So once the first half of our flour has been incorporated, we're going to go ahead and add the remaining flour and we're going to fold that in as well. Make sure to not over mix your batter at this stage. So I've transferred the batter into two 6-inch pans that I have greased and lined with parchment paper, and now we're going to bake this for about 25 to 30 minutes until the top is beautifully golden brown. So now we're going to let this cool down completely, so it's going to take at least 15 to 20 minutes. So in the meanwhile, we're going to prepare our strawberry cake filling, and I have some frozen strawberries over here, mostly because I don't get fresh strawberries where I stay, but these frozen strawberries work perfectly as well. And now I'm adding a little bit of sugar, and we are going to mix this until the sugar is well dissolved. The strawberries are going to let out a lot of water, and you're going to see in just a minute how watery this is going to get. So as you can see, there's a lot of water over here. We're cooking this on medium to medium high heat. Just ensure that you keep stirring this, and we're going to cook this for a good 15 minutes until the strawberries thicken up. We're going to keep pressing on the strawberries as well so as to make this more like a jam. So as you can see, after about 15 minutes, this is thickened up beautifully. We're going to switch off our stove and move over to our mascarpone whipped cream frosting. And I have some homemade mascarpone here. I'm going to link that in the description box below. And now I'm just adding some sugar, and we're going to just beat this with a spatula until all of the sugar has been well incorporated into the mascarpone cheese. So as you can see, it does not take long. After about a minute or so, we have a smooth mixture, to which we're going to go ahead and add some vanilla extract for flavor. And we're just going to beat this with a spatula as well. So we're going to momentarily set this aside and whip up our whipping cream. I'm using non-dairy whipping topping, which is already sweetened. It works amazingly over here. If you have whipping cream which is unsweetened, then you'd want to add a little sugar just to taste. And we're going to beat this until we have stiff peaks. So once our cream has been whipped to stiff peaks, we're first going to add a couple of dollops of the whipped cream to our mascarpone cheese mixture, just to loosen the mascarpone cheese at first. Once that has been done adequately, we're going to add the whole of the mascarpone cheese mixture to our whipping cream. And at this point, when we're going to use our spatula to just fold this mixture in, we don't want to knock out a lot of air, so try and be gentle. and not very vigorous over here. So now we're going to beat this all together with our electric mixer for a couple of minutes until we have a thick, stable mascarpone whipped cream which will be perfect to frost our cake. So this right here is the consistency of our mascarpone whipped cream frosting. It is absolutely amazing, and we're going to directly start frosting our cake. And first I have a little bit of the frosting right at the base of our cake board to attach the first layer. And now we're going to pipe a border of the frosting at first. And me decorating cakes is not a very pretty sight, so I'm going to try and fast forward through this. We're going to add a little bit of the jam. We're going to divide our jam into 3 parts because we need to stack 3 layers. And now we're going to repeat this drill once again. We're going to do this about 2 more times because I've sliced my cake layers into 2. We're making a 4-layer cake here. So we have a border of frosting. We're going to fill this up with some jam. And we're going to do this one more time until we reach the top. So after securing the top layer, we're going to give it a crumb coat. And once we've given it a crumb coat is basically a first layer of frosting just to secure all of the crumbs. It does not have to be very neat. So we're just going to smooth this out as evenly as we can. We're going to refrigerate this for at least 30 to 40 minutes, after which we're going to apply our final coat of frosting. And this recipe makes a whole lot of frosting, so you can add as much as you need. The frosting is delicious, so that shouldn't be a problem. And now we're just going to use a cake scraper to even out the sides. You could do this with a spatula if you don't have a cake scraper. And once we've done that, I'm going to use something which is called a cake comb. It just has patterns, and if you have that, then you can use it. If you don't, it's completely optional. It just gives a very interesting look to our cake. And once we've smoothed out the top of our cake, or as smooth as you can get, we're going to go ahead and pipe some dollops of the frosting. And then for decoration, I'm just adding a few fresh strawberry slices. And we're also going to use some fresh strawberry slices for the base. It just helps get a neat finish, and it also hides any kind of goof ups if you've made on the side. And here you have my most amazing strawberry and mascarpone cake. I think it looks pretty decent. It tastes absolutely amazing. I can completely vouch for that. As far as the decoration is concerned, you might certainly do a better job. But do trust me when I say this, this is going to be one of the most amazing strawberry cakes that you've ever had. The flavors marry perfectly together. And I'm just going to very quickly slice into this cake to show you all of the beautiful layers. And here you have 4 layers of perfectly married vanilla cake with strawberry jam and mascarpone whipped cream. It's absolutely delicious, and I'm just going to take a bite right away. I hope you give this recipe a try. It is so delicious and so worth the effort. And with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, then please do give a like, do share and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, thank you so very much for watching, and I'm gonna see you next week.